Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and in this video we're going to be doing a how to use the P16 because y'all liked it so much when we did the setup. So let's do a breakdown and a basics on how to actually use it. So let's go. All right, folks. So again, this is a basic. So if you have anybody who is using this, going to be using this, whether it be for your ministry, the band, or anything like that, this would be a good user guide for them. All right, so let's go ahead and look over the device. We're going to go backwards here. First, we have 16 channels that can be representative of direct inputs from your X32. It could be a bus, it could be a matrix, it could be anything that's assigned to it. So, you know, we have 1 all the way through 16. All right, now going up here, on default, we have our volume knob that you can change here to the level of your volume of the input. All right. Now, there are going to be multiple versions of ways to increase the volume and levels that are coming to your ears of listening to this, but we'll get back to that. If you want to select a channel, you can always press in on the button and that will mute it completely. So you could go through and do that for each channel if you wanted to, or just turn it all the way down, does the same thing. But by pressing it in, it actually completely mutes it totally. And you can tell by the light going out. All right. Now, for each channel, you do have a pan where you can move everything over to the left or the right per channel. You press in the button, it will zero itself back out to the exact middle, and that's for every single channel. All right. You also have main. Main is now representative of every channel. So if you had this channel at, I don't know, maybe 3, this one at 0, this one at 100, you know, and you go through and change all these levels, the main is going to increase all the volume overall from here. So like if I turn this down and I go back to the individual channel, see, it doesn't change that. It just changes the overall loudness of all the entire mix of all the channels that you have live at the moment. All right. And you can be in the main, you can press it in and mute everything as well too, if you wanted to. Now we have solo. Say you have all these channels coming in, but you only want to hear one at a time and have it stand out. You could hit solo and then press whatever channel that you want to hear, and that's the only thing that you're going to hear, you know. And you can't do multiple, solo meaning one. So you pick that one, right? Mute does the same thing as pressing this button in, but you can do it a lot quicker. So say you want to mute a couple of channels, like right now I have 13 and 14. I can go in here and just pick all the channels I want, and now all of them are muted. So now, you know, if I go to these channels, as you can see, they're all muted. You could go through and press a button, the volume button, to mute them, but the mute option will give you a faster way to do all of them at the same time. All right. So everything is there. Now let's go up here to link. Now I'm going to, in the other video, I have 14 and 15. I have these linked to my aux input. That's what I have them linked to. So it's the left and right channel. So this link button here will correlate to that. So right now, by me having these right here, I have them messed up on the way to X32, is I had this one muted, so I'm only adjusting the volume from here. That's not really correct on how I would want to do this. Say I want to link these two channels and say that they are left and right. So what I would do is hit link and then press which ones I want to link together. Now, unfortunately, with the P16, you can't link like 1 and 13 or like 14 and 15, which is what I did when I configured this on the X32. I need to move this. I can only link from an odd to an even. So 1, 2, or 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You can't do any other links like that. But let's say I link this. Now these both channels are linked. So now if I press one, I get the other, just like on the board. All right. So this would be good for that aux that's getting ready to come in that I need to reconfigure on the board to actually go to 13 and 14 instead of 14 and 15. Now, group is something different. Group is you can group anything, but it doesn't act like that link that we did, so of left and right. So say I want to have, like, number 1 is the piano. Actually, no, piano I think is 9, and then I have drums as 10 and bass as 12. Maybe I want to group those together. All right. So that way, when I do this and I increase the volume, it will subsequently increase the volume at the level that it was. Meaning that if I go up, let's actually back out of this again, and let's do this a second time. Let's say this is at 3, that's at 3, and that's at 3. All right. So if I come here and I increase the volume, actually I did that wrong again. I meant to do it at a different level. Let's ungroup these. And let's do this again. So let's say we're going to group 9, 10, and 12. Let's do 12 at 1, 10 at 5, and 9 at 3. Let's group these together now. All right. So now when I increase this volume, let's say I increase it by 2. All right. So that went from 3 to 5. If I go to 10, as you see, it's increased it the same level that I've done. So it's just going to increase the volume of a group by the level that we did. So this one is at 3. I increased it to 2. It went up by 2 to 5. This one, if I come back down 2, we go to 10. See, it's decreased by 2 because it was at 8. We go to this one. It was at 1. So if I increase this by 2, now that's maxed out. That's how you can group these together. I hope that makes sense for you. Now let me ungroup these. All right, now say that you have a drummer or any of your musicians that wants to configure this a certain way, but somebody keeps coming in, the next musician comes in and changes all their settings. What you can do is, let's mute 1 through 6 and say that this drummer doesn't want to hear nothing except for just the keyboard, bass, and themselves. And what they want to do is keep those settings so that when they come back in, they don't have to do this again. As you can see, these are all muted. We can go in here, hit store, and store their setting of, say, it's 12. That's what they want to store. All right. So that's 12 that's been restored, stored in their settings. Somebody else comes in. Hey, I want to hear 1 through 4, but 5 and 6, I want to be muted. You know, they come in, boom, there's their stuff. The musicians coming in like, wait a minute, why are these loud again? I don't want these on. They can come in, do recall, hit their settings, and now it's right back to way they configured it. And you can store up to 16 of these. All right. So they just pick whichever number is theirs. There's their configuration. And once they have it set, they can just do it and it easily recall as long as nobody overwrites it. Really straightforward. Now let's flip it over to back just to show you the inputs that you got here in the back. If you wanted to use a personal monitor, actually a small speaker that's right beside you, you could do a left line in and out to come out of here so you can hear that mix that you have configured personally for you. Obviously, you have your headphones. You could hook a MIDI in. If you had a couple of these, you can actually daisy chain these to another P16, but realize that this does not send power. If you did it this way, another one would need to be plugged into an outlet to get it power. I'm connected directly to the power play, so it's sending power and connectivity to the X32. All right, now with everything else mentioned, we also have our bass, mids, frequency, treble, limiter, and level. So remember I talked about earlier, there are other ways to set our volume. So let's go back over that. So for each channel, you know, we're on our mains and we can turn everything up. And we can set our main output volume here. Now, we also have level, which is going to go for our outputs on the jacks that we showed in the back, whether it be your headphones, your monitor, left and right. That's what this level is going to be. Now, you also have a limiter here that will restrict how high that volume is going to be to protect your ears. So, you want to make it lower, then it's going to allow you to have more volume coming in, but more dangerous it could be. So you have your volume here for all of the individual channels or as a whole. Then you have the overall device output level here, and then this will limit how high it's allow it to go out in your ears. Now, for each individual channel, we can change settings for our bass here, for our mids, which has 2 frequencies to it here that you can adjust, and your treble. So you can do that for each individual one, and they are set for each channel once you have the channel selected. Hopefully that if you have any questions, hopefully that helps you use this. And if you have any other questions, let me know down below. I'm going to have access to playing around with this for quite a while until I actually have to install it as Signs and Wonders. But let me know if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer them for you. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. We'll catch you on the next video. Later.